We're here in Potsdam, New York at an installation of a Smith Steelworks pavilion. What's going up here is a 30 by 60 steel column, glulam beam and tongue and groove pavilion. I'm going to walk you through the steps that the contractor is doing to install the pavilion, hopefully to help you in future projects and to give you ideas on best practices for putting up a Smith Steelworks pavilion.
So what I'm trying to do is get it so that when we go to put the posts on, the four nuts are at the same level. So I've run a string across so that I can measure down from a point of reference, and when I get it so I have my 1.5 inches of grout above the concrete piers that we poured, I use a bubble level to check it in the other direction and adjust the nuts until I get the thing level and the right distance for my string, and then we know we're good to go for the column.
Sean just explained to you as to how we leveled out all of the bolts. That was the hardest part of the whole project, because we were facing concrete on the threads and we had to clean the threads. We would recommend, if you have the ability to, tape the threads before pouring the concrete so that you don't get that concrete buildup in the threads. That took the longest in leveling out the bolts. He had a very unique way of leveling them out that I think was very good. Once we leveled out all the bolts, we stuck the washer on top of it, put the columns up, and they went up super fast, and then we had a 4-foot level where we checked it, did one final check, and we had to do minor adjustments from there. But it took us about 3 hours to level all the bolts, and it only took us about 1.5 hours to set all the columns. So if you level the bolts first, there's different ways of doing it. Sean had a very unique way of doing it, and so we wanted to share that with you to help you in this process as you are putting up the pavilions, if there's any way we can help you in making it better. In this case, they did a diamond pattern block out around the columns. It has been accepted that if you want to continue the sonnet tube all the way up to the top and do the round pattern, that is also acceptable. Whatever your contractor feels comfortable with, or whatever the stake president or the project manager requires, these are some of the options.